40 years ago, 1981 to be exact, Akmal Kurtam, an engineer, an Egyptian engineer, had a dream. His dream was to establish a local oil service company to compete and provide services like those who operate in the region, the multinationals. At the time, many thought that this was kind of ridiculous. I mean, people at the time used to invest in oil barrels, in concessions, rather than the direction he took in investing in people and equipment to provide such services. Today, Sapesco has more than 1,000 employees, 6 countries we operate in, with more than 7 divisions and 20 plus services we provide in the region. The past couple of years was extremely difficult, not only towards the oil and energy sector, but all the business sectors in the region as a whole. But difficult situations and times are those that either make or break a firm, from my perspective.
We have a CO2 removal unit in one of our gas plants in Egypt. And over the last few years, we've seen a deteriorating performance in the unit. We'd suffered a number of leaks. We'd seen a drop-off in the performance of the unit to remove CO2. We'd seen trips, a lot of trips. And we'd also had to take a lot of shutdowns to actually intervene and try and get the unit working again.
When we went to analyse these problems, we realised part of the problems was the considerable fouling that was happening in our Benfield system. Deposits of scale throughout the system. When we analysed these scales, we found they were very complex in their nature, and it wasn't just one type of scale. We found there were at least 6 very different types of scale.
So we realised then that we had to do a major intervention to try and clean internally the unit itself. We looked at mechanical means of cleaning and very quickly ruled that out. So then we switched our focus to trying to find a chemical. And that's when the problem started, because we couldn't find one. And we searched high and low and far and wide. We engaged with all the major chemical suppliers the world over, looking for a chemical, and we came up short. We then, in parallel, we were looking locally in Egypt, but to be honest, we weren't too optimistic that we'd find one. And yet we found one on our doorstep in Mardi, and that company was Sapesco.
Once we started building the relationship with Sapesco, talking to their technical team, talking to their leadership, we realized that with their positive sort of can-do mindset, that we had potentially a chemical that we'd be able to use to clean the Obaiyed plant.
It's one thing to develop a chemical in the lab in a small jar. It's quite another to deploy this in hundreds of cubic meters to a site in the remote Western Desert. And I'm delighted to report that we actually deployed this chemical in both trains in the gas plant. And the net result is we've been able to return the performance of the units to a level that we've never seen, even when the units were first commissioned in 1999 and were brand new. Sapesco were the only people who came up with the chemical that would work. Yeah? So without that, you're not even going to get through the door. We can't go anywhere, we can't even start.
عندنا خط بايب لاين. البايب لاين دوت كان بيتكون فيه انواع من السكيل، فكانت في مشكله كبيره جدا عندنا بتقابلنا ان الخط اللي بيتكون فيه السكيل دوت بيبقى هو الشريان الوحيد بتاع الحقل يعني. وهو طبعا احنا اترصدت في بالنسبه لسابيسكو ان اشتغلت معانا في جوبات بس مش في كيميكالز يعني. فبدانا ان احنا نقول طيب اوكي ان احنا نبدا نفعل الموضوع دوت، وبدانا ان احنا نشير الريسك ما بيننا وبينهم بحيث ان نشوف، لان ده اول مره يتنفذ في العالم تقريبا الكيميكالز. وبدانا نعمل الجوبس بتاعتنا، والحمد لله 4 عامين الانتاج بتاعنا الخط تقريبا رجع للأوريجينال بتاعه من 20 سنة. الإنتاج وصل أكتر من 4000 برميل زيادة فوق الإنتاج بتاعنا.
مفيش أي شركة قدرت تقدم لنا حل إلا شركة سابيسكو، هي اللي قدرت إنها تدوب أو تزيل المشكلة اللي موجودة تحت في البير. كمان بالإضافة لده هي قبلت معانا إن هي تشارك في مخاطر البير ومخاطر الشغل في البحر وفي الكوست.
نتائج بعد الإذابة كانت نتائج رائعة جدا. الإنتاج تضاعف أكتر من 6 أو 7 مرات. النتائج كانت عالية جدا فوق توقعاتنا.
الفيلد عندنا عمل شغل جامد جدا مع سابيسكو، وهم طبعا اللي هم العصب الرئيسي في نجاح حاجة زي كده. الحمد لله قدرنا احنا نوصل احنا نشيل السكيلز الموجودة ديت الصعبة. المعدن او السيستم الموجود عندنا، المعدن بتاعه وصل ان هو ممكن يكون زي الجديد. نجاح لبدر الدين، نجاح لمصر، وفي نفس الوقت نجاح لسابيسكو ان هو قدر ان هو حاجه ما حصلتش في العالم قبل كده، يقدر ان هو الديسولف سوليد سكيلز صعبه جدا ان هي تتشال، وان هو يقدر يشيلها بالاحترافيه دي.
ادينا لهم عينات من السكيل اللي طالع معانا او من المشكله اللي عندنا، وخدوها عملوا عليها تحاليل، والتحاليل ادت نتائج مشجعه جدا خلتنا نقدر نشتغل معاهم في اول بير اللي كان في 2012.
Many companies, international as well as local here in Egypt, when they saw the nature of the scales they received, just straight away didn't do any tests. We had 12 companies in total that took the scale samples and tried to test the chemicals they had available. Of those, only one company came back and believed they had a chemical which would be able to successfully dissolve the deposits which we have in the Obaid gas plant. This company was Sapesco. With the first responses, we were a little bit skeptical, having seen that no other company anywhere globally was able to dissolve these chemicals.
Sapesco were demonstrated to us, and to me in particular, that they were keen to actually address, rise up to the challenge. So they wanted to do it. Yeah, there was a will. It wasn't a case of, we're just going to see whether this will work. They wanted it to be successful. And I think that willingness, that desire, that want, was the key ingredient that got us through the whole journey. I think without that, with the setbacks that we had, we'd have stopped and we'd have parted ways long ago. But the thing for me is that Sapesco, for me, I felt, had that desire to want to succeed, and that made them a great partner.
You see what differs and defines Sapesco, from my point of view, is the will, the energy, and the ambition of those who stand behind this firm. As it has been said that wisdom is daughter of experience. With 40 years of experience, I believe we were wise enough and had the knowledge to take aggressive decisions in the right time. We restructured our organization. We improved, we enhanced our internal processes and systems. We concentrated on certain and specific services. And we diversified our risk in operating in different countries that we have never operated in before. The key here is that we changed, we adapted, and we performed.